Hello, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. Let's take a look at my May's reflections or wrap-ups or nosies. Not quite sure what to call it. I've noticed everyone's struggling with the words that they've been using because it's just been a common phrasing really, and even I have been wondering, like, what do you call these monthly look backs really, aren't they? And just, yeah, a little nosy through the journals and things I've been playing with. So if we start, as I always do, with the moon diaries, but touching in on the Deacon walk and where I'm at, because we are now filming this, it's early June. So I thought I'd show you how I use the wall calendar, because I don't think I've ever touched on that one really. So if we do the wall calendar first, now this is for the Deacon walks. And I was trying to get my head around Western astrology versus true sidereal astrology. I thought I'd use this, but I don't know. So I'm playing, and I am very open to anyone that's got any suggestions on how to merge these things, fix these things, work with these things together. So far, I haven't come across anyone. So this is the wall calendar 2024, again from the Flickering Cauldron. And it has these beautiful bits of artwork in them, but we're not here for the artwork today, sadly. We are here to look at these bits. So what I have done, as you can see, is I've used colours. And I have split the deacons as they sit in Western astrology per the calendar, because the calendar is set to Western astrology. So in January, we enter the month of January in the astrological sign of Capricorn. And I've put, so what you can see hopefully is I have different thicknesses on here. So I have a thick line and a thin line. The thick line represents the second deacon of each astrological sign, and the thin line either side is the first deacon and the third deacon. And then it changes colour for the next deacon. So that's how the colour changes are. I have highlighted other areas of the chart, days, Sabbats, anniversaries, birthdays, anything like that I want to put on here. I've also highlighted the full moon and new moons, because I like the fact this tells you where they are. But so does my other diary that companions to this. And I have noted when in the true sidereal, the sign changes. So what I have here is we've gone through the Capricorn, and then on the 20th of January 2024 we moved into the star sign of Aquarius, which is highlighted here, or the 21st, sorry, it's Aquarius. But on the 20th in true sidereal, it was the start of Capricorn. So I have noted that that starts here in this sign, and then Deacon 1, Deacon 2. So I've just kept the deacons to the dates as they've been preset and, you know, kind of loaded. So following in from Deacon 2 to Deacon 3, and then we move into, so Aquarius in true sidereal starts here on the 14th, which of course is also Valentine's Day. I've got my moons, and then obviously this is to indicate Pisces is starting, so moving into Pisces, but of course from here we're into Aquarius, and then it goes through like that. So I've got a few private bits on my calendar there which I won't share, but you can see it's all got these beautiful bits of art. So we've got fairies to match, so the themes do match what's in the diary. So here we are into May, and again we've come through, we're in Pisces. So my colours don't match anything, it's just the colours of highlighters I had, and I just went through them in colour coordinated order, that's it, rotating them out. So you can see we've got Beltane, the new moon, when we started Gemini, when we started Taurus in true sidereal, but we were already in Taurus coming, so you see what I mean, how it's getting a little bit, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to see when they overlap, when the energies overlap slightly, and what, rather than setting up decks specifically for this is Aries, this is Taurus, this is this. I'm just pulling decks when I'm doing the spreads, which Marlene Theresa's preset under the astrological signs, and I'm just seeing what decks come out. So I'm doing them as, I suppose, T. Susan Chang's wheel and walk, and trying to reflect in how I feel and when the decans actually come in play. When the second set of astrological signs actually come into play. So it goes like that. So that's what I've done. Set it up so you can see Gemini starts here, although This is Cancer. Where does Cancer start? There. It's hiding in the moon. So yeah, I've done that for the whole year just to see. And I do have Virgo, because Virgo's a long one. Libra, Scorpio comes in at the end of November. And then Ophiuchus starts on the 6th of December, and Sagittarius starts on the 18th of December. So, out of interest, curiosity, into my diary. So, as you know, we have here, so May, we had the new moon on the 8th of May, and we had the flower moon on the 23rd of May, and I'm filming this actually on the new moon in June, which is the new moon of Gemini, Western astrology. So you've got your moon energies, your crescents, planetary associations, if you want to work with the planets, and you've also got your astrological associations, and here you've got the main planetary kind of energies, information on when they go retrogrades. So at this point in time, Mercury is not, Mars is until February next year. What do I see? Saturn will go retrograde at the end of June, and Neptune goes retrograde shortly afterwards, and then a month later followed by Uranus. And Pluto has already started retrograding. So how's that for a bunch of planets? In fact, I think that's probably about what my birth chart looked like last year. Everything seems to be my birth chart last year. Yes, I was born yesterday. So my birth chart for the true sidereal, everything was in retrograde, which was kind of curious. So May, where are we at? We are here. So tracking as usual, starting with the, so as I know Western astrology, starting in the sign of Taurus with our meadowlark, and we have gemstones, planetary associations here, and the flower being Lily of the Valley, which is absolutely adorable little flower, but it's so hard to grow. I found in gardens, even when I put it in the shady areas or the wooded areas, it still seems to be quite temperamental and only lasts for a very short period of time, probably just for May really, much like peonies. So just going through, started the month recovering from I had like a flu-like illness. It was really weird. So yeah, and belting. So I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. It's the same old, isn't it? Something takes over life and you never get to do what it is that you're after. I was also nursing dear Maximus, because he was not very well that last, probably sort of 6 days of, probably from about the 6th, I'd say, from 6th of May, really not very well, and he passed on the 10th, roughly. So it just felt like one thing moving into another for those first couple of weeks. Got back into my role then with what I was doing, just jotting down. I've got a busy day making notes and things, but we had some lovely bits in here. I did use last year's incense that I made, which was really cool, and I think that is, I used that when I was doing my birthday spread. So if you find my birthday spread video, planetary spread, I've got the incense that was in this diary from last year that I made and used it. So that was a nice thing to pull out, and very, kind of nostalgic and magical. So we have Fae Potions on notes, budget pages, orders, pre-orders, wish lists. I did get a little bit confused between what I had on order from the month before and what I hadn't written down, because as I said, I've been massive splurge towards middle end of April and a little bit in the beginning of May. So they overlapped and I couldn't remember what was ordered when, because everything was arriving at different times. So tried to keep up with it with a list here. I've still got 3 decks waiting to arrive from that. And then we're into June. Things to note. So one of the heroes of our tarot generation, Vincent Batisky, passed away. So that was a sad day in news as it slowly seeped out into the tarot community. Obviously, I lost my beloved teddy bear. But yeah. And the planetary energies continue to cause chaos with my language, communication, words, how I'm speaking to people or upsetting people. Let me just find April, May. Where are we? Come on. Oh, can't find it. Here we go. Month of May. I'll bring it down. Obviously, we covered that last month, so that's not really very interesting. But for the month of May, as you can see, so I've painted and decorated, just pulled out some pens, done some doodling. I didn't list all the decks, so some are here, some aren't, so we'll have a look. So my keyword was direction, and of course, that's the last set of cards from my previous year's spread, 23-24. And we have the Two of Fire, so mapping progress, planning for the future, trusting in the process of co-creation. So I like the fact that we're mapping for the future because, of course, in this month or end of the month of May is when I do then map down my calendar spread for the next month. So I liked that. With regards to our card for encouragement and nudging the right direction, you're on the right path. So there's a few little nuances that happened in the month. One being that I knew my dog really wasn't very well. And it was like, we were closing in on that difficult time with him, and I was proven right this time, which was nice. And there was a couple of other things. My nan, I had my uncle visiting me in my dream, who passed away many years ago, and he was taking me out for a dance around the dance floor, and that is a place where I had danced with him many times in the past at the church club, and he takes you for a little spin around the dance floor, and he was talking to me, but I cannot recall any piece of the conversation, not a single bit of the conversation. But he was very well, he was fit, and we were having a laugh, and it was lovely. And then my nan took a turn for the worst, and my sister, when I went to see her, my sister then said to me, she keeps talking about Frank. And that jogged my memory. I was like, that's so weird, because 3 days before I went to see my sister, this happened. And she was like, oh, that's not good, is it? And the doctors had kind of signed my nan off on end of life as well. Although she's now, I don't quite understand how it works, but she's now changed, and now they said no, she can have all her meds reinstated. She's not end of life. Anyway, so that's going to be one of those journeys because she's got vascular dementia for us. So we have hope was my card. So remembering your roots, where you came from and what you stand for. Lead by example. And I definitely have had to kind of lead by example when it came to things like in work, where there was some conflicts, where there's been some just bizarre, the most bizarre clashes of conversation. You ask a question and you get your head snapped off with an answer. So you challenge the answer because you still don't quite understand what they're talking about, and you get the same reply. I mean, it's so weird. So with regards to direction, I have been lacking a bit of direction in the workplace from completing certain types of investigations because processes are being changed while I've been out and about at the early part of the month, and I had some annual leave as well. And it's like, okay, but catch me up. Really, really interesting and laughable. Thank God I can laugh at that. So for my week ahead, first week in, nice busy page. So I've gone with how to show up, how to make a difference, how to be prepared, and what the oracle says. And then my reflections, intuitive read, 4 cards out, and what does it mean? Or they might have all jumped, or it was just as many cards as I felt made my reading. And for this one, I've used the Shadow Journey and Earthly Souls and Spirits Oracle. And they've worked quite well. In fact, let's do that now. Okay, so I thought I'd try it a little bit differently this time. So I'm going to do the cards in between the spreads because I think they changed up as I went through, and I won't be able to keep up. So for my weekly, Let's do it. Let's do it as per the spread. I can hear you all saying that. So 3 cards, 1 oracle. Of course, I haven't shuffled these in to match, but it just seemed the artwork felt really good. Right, so 10 of swords or cloaks, 9 of candles, wands, king of bones, pentacles, with love. That's your first lot. Then we've got 3 of pentacles, 5 of pentacles, chariot in reverse. How did he get in there? Chariot. Let's get the direction. Let's get the direction right. And adventure. So that kind of collaboration, looking for help, finding your direction, and then the adventure of putting it all into place is how I would see that one. Interesting. 9 of goblets, so cups. That should be quite easy. Ace of candles, wands, the empress, and blossom. So we've got that wish fulfillment, following your desires, landing in your creative element, like your kind of productive element, I would say, because obviously these are usually for my workspace, and then blossoming in what you're doing. So using what you have from the empress, because she's in her little valley of fields, and then blossoming. So teaching people to nurture growth, become something. 8 of cloaks, the lovers, with the sun, and evolve. So 8 of cloaks would be 8 of swords, of course our lovers and the sun. So we've got major arcana moving into evolve. So as you're kind of coming out of that state of overthinking, tying yourself up in knots with your own thoughts, finding relationships. It could even be about relationship, looking at that. So it could be about how I'm working with the people I'm working with. So once I've decided to stop overthinking things and overthinking them and scenarios, finding that duality in the workplace and being able to slot in and work well within the teamscape of the nonsense that was happening, that was causing me to step back and be like, wow, what is going on here? And finding it to be more inspiring and allowing me to do what I need to do and others to do what they want to do, finding our feet and shining for the team, and then evolving. So yeah, finding those processes that were making things difficult and evolving them into something that we can all do in perhaps a more, work smart, not harder theme. So there we go. So that would have been my spread, and I used then for my reflections would have just been these cards. And as I said, that was the Shadow Journey Tarot by Jay Edward and Heather Neal, available on Etsy. Next spread in is the Tarot Normal Investigations from Ginger Faye Tarot and Divine Musings. And she had Ramon from Moon Scarab as a guest and somebody else, I think. I haven't written everyone down, but she hosted a really interesting Tarot Normal investigation where she had 2 ladies who had the pink house, as they called it. So it was a 1960 pink house. Marjorie, sorry, 1960 pink house, and they were looking for information. So they were looking at stuff that was outside, where they had an apple tree inside. They had a stone circle on the land, or a stone in a circle on the land. I didn't quite capture what that bit was referring to. And then inside there was a basement or a crawl space where things felt a bit weird. They had some names and spirit boxes in the house. So there's information around that. We all join in, pull cards. So I did what I felt was the significance of these questions that everyone was discussing, and just kind of feelings, trying to follow your intuition. And then we did some questions and pulled cards on questions. We've got questions here specific to then the information that we pulled out of the story from the house. And then I did, my cards there. And I used the Relative Tarot and the Beloved Dead Oracle for this. And then back to my normal cards that I've just shown you here. So we have the week ahead. So I have the energy in the week ahead, the best possible outcome for the energy of of the week ahead and how to achieve or avoid this, depending on what that was. Like, did I want to achieve it or did I want to avoid it? And then my direction, obviously taking direction from others, being a big part of this whole month, let's be fair. And then my oracle card was Imagine. And I managed to get my reflections in. So what worked well, what did not go so well, and warning, needing more attention. So week ahead, third week of May is this. So here I've put a little card with my direction. The end is the goal, but how you get there is yours to choose. So we decide our travel destination, really, don't we? And two cards came out, positivity and spells. And I've just put the word success there because it means success usually. So I thought that was really good. And then I've just done, so the previous one I've done, so energy of the week, best possible outcome and how to achieve this or not achieve this is how I've gone with that. And then my reflections, as I said, cards down, as many as I felt, and then an intuitive read. Starting week 27th of May, my birthday. So we have the situational energy. What's feeding into or influencing the situational energy? How will it affect the outcome? And then what should I focus on with all of this going on for the week? So chose to do a slightly bigger spread because I didn't do a full birthday spread. And then for my birthday, I did a tip-in. I just did some birthday messages for me on that day, which was one oracle and then a couple of cards. And then because the 27th was my birthday anyway, so I have actually wrote it here as my birthday oracle message, being magical. So, and then reflect on it a bit. 2 cards. They were both jumpers while I was shuffling, so I've thrown them out and put, what my thoughts were about this. And then my question for my reflection was, how my colleagues see me in this week, because things were just so difficult. I was just like, what is happening around here? So I just put down what I think the 7 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles meant here from how they're seeing me perspective. Because I just wanted to know if it was me that was the problem. Reflection. So as I've mentioned, Max passed away over the Rainbow Bridge. I had, so it's colour coordinated to different things here. My nan put on the end of life pathway 3 days before my birthday, and on the 24th, which is actually my sister's birthday. So she had a fantastic birthday because she looks after her. Energies and emotions. Like, here we go. What is going on with folks? We had the Aurora Borealis on the same day that Max passed away, and for a couple of days afterwards with the geomagnetic storm. So I figured that was causing a bit of issues at the start of the month, but I'm like, it can't be that all month through, can it now? Managed to get the front room emptied and painted. So now we're waiting for flooring, the ceiling lights, and some actual electric sockets, and some skirting boards, and some window trims, and some of the trickle vents to be fitted onto the open holes on the patio doors and things, and cupboards. And then it's done. So maybe another 6 months before that's all done. But it's moving in the right direction. So the 27th landed on a bank holiday. Now my birthday hasn't been on a bank holiday Monday for a very long time, and I forgot how terrible that can be when the sun's out. Although the sun was out, it was only 13 degrees. And it landed on, we have Run to the Sun weekend here. And I made the mistake of saying, let's head to Newquay, because I always go to Newquay for my lunch. Usually go to Lusty Glaze or the Mermaid Pub, and then have a little coastal walk around there. So we headed out to do what we were going to do normally, and then realised very quickly that we weren't going to manage it because the traffic was just... So we got stuck in traffic going one direction, turned around and decided to cut our losses and come back before we got caught up any worse. Came back, headed out to the moorland, and the further into the moorland we got, the wetter, darker and greyer it got. And I really wasn't dressed for that weather. And it got colder, so it dropped down to 12 degrees on the moors, and the rain. And I was like, we can't walk here. So change of plans, back home. Had some lovely tapas and things in the fridge anyway, so pulled out like some amazing snacks, had a lovely, finger food lunch. And then because I wasn't working, so I had the next day off. Opened the bottle of champagne that I had my birthday, watched a lovely film in the afternoon, and it was so cold we lit the fire. So on my birthday in May, we had a roaring log fire, champagne, and a movie. It's hilarious. I've never had that before. I mean, it's been cold, but I've never had that. So that was really, really interesting. And Max's ashes returned home on the last day of May. So, and then we're into June. Ta-da! So let's just look at Ramon's spread. Ramon's, sorry. Why do I keep saying that? It's not Ramon's. It's Ginger's for Paranormal. So it's these two decks because obviously Paranormal is exactly as it sounds. So it's doing a spread for paranormal activity for somebody else. So I used two Carrie Paris decks because they're built for this. And basically for each question, reshuffled, left my card out as a big spread. So reshuffled, so I didn't get like duplicates, but I just reshuffled and pulled. Basically the idea is one of these and one of these to clarify. So you got 10 of Swords and Explorer. 7 of Swords with the, this is one of the Acts of Love cards, Objectivity, with your 7 of Swords, but still an interesting pair if you're just reading it as a oracle with the word Objectivity there. A nice wholesome 4 of Cups. I wonder, it's almost like, that could almost be hops, couldn't it, that she's carrying in her baskets there. So this could almost be like one too many beers. Queen of Wands with Optimism. I think they go very well together. In fact, that could even be the sunflower that the Queen of Wands is often depicted with. 3 of Pentacles play. Emperor with Absence. That is a curious set. Because sometimes if you have an emperor in your household, they can feel absent from what's going on because they're so busy, not lording over the house, but you know what I mean. Protecting, making sure, planning, ensuring that you have what you need. Hunter-gatherer. That you could feel that there's an absence of that person. Page of Pentacles with Perfection. Do you ever get a better match? Knight of Pentacles with Innocent. Wouldn't have gone with the wand of Knight of Wands, would it? Star, Conscientious. So yeah, you got the idea of those. Just pop them away. Okay, so for my daily pulls, I use these. So we have the Wildlands Tarot, the Zombie Oracle from Galaxy Dreamer, Dragorshi. This is her oracle that she designed, available on Make Playing Cards. So I was using that one. And then every so often I was pulling this one as well. Because it's like there was a very definite shift in energy at some point, and then I wanted this deck. So interesting. And I was also pulling from my mashup deck. So this is 2 decks merged into one. So I was pulling oracle cards from this one every so often as well. But it was majority here. And at the end of the month, I swapped to, from the same creator, the Wisdom of the Raven Oracle. So but these ones were the majority of it, so we'll do these ones. I still absolutely love this deck. It's brilliant concept. Like there's Polaroid pictures. So jolly. So felt like Gemini. Felt like an air deck. If I'm going to talk about Gemini as an air sign. Yeah. So I'm just going to put them out because sometimes I'll just do these, sometimes I'll just do these, sometimes I'll just do one of each. There was no rhyme or reason for this, and this one wasn't really to tie into this. This was just an oracle for my day as well, not an oracle to read the message of the card for the day. So it was really mostly just one of everything to be read separately, as in words of wisdom, what to expect from my day. So here we have the Hermit with Opportunism and the Emperor. Two of Cups, possibilities, and the Bee. Four of Cups, gratitude, soulmates. I suppose it's that one it wants. So we have the World with resilience and integrity. Six of Wands, starting over, and strength. The Hanged one with skill and solitude. So perfecting your skills by yourself. Taking that time to perfect your skills by yourself. If you wanted to read a story. Ten of Wands with POV, point of view, and masquerade. So sometimes people have masks on, but their point of view for the reason for the mask, or your point of view for why you think they're wearing the mask, must be ironed out from the Ten of Wands. Seven of Ankhs, air, swords, hope, home. And the last one. No need to run anymore with remember and judgment. So that's quite a nice one, I guess. That's a beautiful card. So yeah, so we used those. Those were my dailies. And this deck did get used again at other points. So if I just leave that there, I can't remember how many more times I used this one. So I'll put it in its bag. So it's got a new bag. This is one that came from the Witch's Casket. I haven't ironed this on yet. I still need to do so, but it fits perfectly on there. And again, that sign also came from the Witch's Casket when I was collecting those last year and the year before. So some of the bits have come in really handy, just to prove that it's not all, becomes stuff that you don't use. So this has been really cool that I've got a little bag now that houses in, and it's perfect fit. So we've got there. Next journal is going to be this one. Okay, so I think I said last month, I purchased the digital tarot journal from Amethyst Ascension, and it's her updated version 1 form of the journal because it came with extra downloaded bits and bobs to use in the journal. So far I haven't used them, but I will get around to them as I embark on my abilities to use the journal. It also has prompted me to go to Canva and make a few bits myself, so that's there. And we have the Deacon Journeys. So if we look at the Deacon Journeys, where am I in? June. Gemini. Here we go. So we had Taurus 3, which would have been the last Deacon, I think, at the end of May. I'll put that here anyway. So as I've been saying, so from last year for Taurus 3, I have the spread on the table that I put out with the cards that I was exploring to get keywords and improve keywords, which are at the bottoms of all of my things, reflections keywords. And then my diary page that I was using, that I was writing in at the time because I was on paper journal. So that's there. And then this time around on the Deacon for Taurus 3, I'm doing the world around me, foods, music, moods, decks that I'm feeling like using, just as a kind of, and the weather. When I'm talking about the world around me, the weather, plants, what's happening in the garden. And for this spread from Marlene Theresa, I used 2 decks. So I used an oracle and an oracle, and the oracle cards sit here and here. And then you see the tarot deck there, which is really beautiful. And this is the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. And the oracle is Messages of Cosmic Oracle cards. And they kind of went really well together. So let's just have a quick look at those. Okay, so you have Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. I think I've read or heard a rumour that this is going to be mass market. Could be wrong, but I think it's this one. It's either this or Tarot of Oneness, and I think it's this one. and probably with a few more alterations, and the Messages of the Cosmic Oracle Seeds, available on Amazon. So just looking at these two together. So you can see, look, very pretty kind of art. Now this is a plain one, but once we get to here, they do look really nice. The backs of these are quite cosmic-y as well. So we've got the Nurturer of Swords, which I'm presuming is the Queen of Swords, because I haven't got my book out at the moment. And then we have Staying Present. That's where life happens. So she's usually a ponderer, isn't she? The Queen of Swords. She knows what's happening. She's usually fairly present. She's not normally switched off. Let's be, being honest. So yeah, and they're both very sky-like cards as well for that one. Six of Cups with Give Your Inner Critique a Vacation Day. Be kind to yourself. Here we have our Ten of Swords with Stop Looking Outside Yourself for Answers. You already know them. Messenger of Wands. Do something kind for someone without any expectation. That's always nice to do, isn't it? Our Five of Coins with When you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. So not being scared about what's happening, asking for help and going and doing it. Seven of Coins, speak up and speak out. Let your voice be heard, loud and clear. Ever known a bird or a parrot not to speak up and speak out? The Nurturer of Cups. Do your thoughts need a reboot? Focus on the good in your life. Yeah, so yes, is all I got to say. It felt like they were doing well. Let's go back to the journal. So moving forwards into Gemini 1. Again, there you go. There's my picture spread, my wording, world around me. And then here we have, I wanted to use lots of spreads for this one. So here we have the Wildlands to show the cards that go with the deacon from Marlene's spread. So we've got the cards that significate the deacon here. So I put them at the top from the Wildlands deck. And then we have for self and for others, how you see. So how do I engage with these ideas of fate for self and fate for others? So here we have myself and here we have my others. And I used two decks for that as well. So I used the Zane Tarot and I used the Bohemian Animal Tarot. And this whole spread felt very me, which I still refer to me as Gemini, based on Western astrology. So this felt very me. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so we have the Wildlands Tarot, the Zany Tarot from Zane Hughes, available on Make Playing Cards, and the Bohemian Animal Tarot, which used to be from Rockpool Publishing. Just really for a colour combination, see if you are in the same agreement with me. This just felt very playful, light, not too dark, not overly heavy. It just had that that feel when you don't want too much on your plate, but you just want a little reading and I suppose a fun visual, not a scary or dark visual. So Four of Cups with 10 of Pentacles and Two of Earth. These have got a beautiful kind of soft feel to them with the pencil colours on them. These ones are always airy and light. And then this deck, Zane being a Gemini as well, fellow Gemini, felt right. And it's got the right amount of colour in it. So Ace of Wands, Five of Cups, Four of Air. This card just cracks me up. I think it's brilliant. I love the fact that there's Santa's Workshop for the Eight of Pentacles. So we've got Four of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Earth. Ace of Air. We have a Playboy bunny. Knight of Wands with Seven of Cups and Four of Earth, or Four of Pentacles. Hiding it in the magic hat. Strength, 8. Eight of Wands, 2 8s, and then 10 of Fire. So we've got 2 8s, 2 fire cards. These are named by their elements, in case that's not obvious for everyone. So we have Four of Coins with 6 Pentacles and 3 of Water. Isn't that a lovely exchange for 6 of Pentacles? The Tower with 6 of Swords. So it's interesting, we have an RIP there, isn't it, following on from a Tower, and then we've got 3 of Air. So we've got a lot of stabbing going on here, haven't we? A lot of pain following on from the Tower. But I suppose if we put another card on the end, you'll get over it. Be strong, fight. So there we go. Finishing on the Moon with 3 of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Excellent. Right, let's go back to my journal. Okay, so that's Deacon 1. And then, that's right, isn't it? Yep. And then the birthday spread. Oh, yes, sorry. Because my birthday in Deacon 1, Marlene created a birthday spread for Deacon 1 as well. Or for for being there. So anyway, that's not explaining itself very well. So there's the spread, there's my thoughts, and then here is the actual spread. And I used the Tarot of Mystical Moments with the Bohemian Animal Tarot, and then following up with the Messages of Cosmic Oracles cards on the end there. And I didn't bring all these, I haven't got this deck down, so if I just enlarge the screen so you can appreciate the beautiful cards at least. Hopefully you can see then how these played beautifully together. So these were my cards at the top. So these were answering the spread questions, and then second decks coming down to answer like that question. So Wheel of Fortune with 5 of Fire, the Magician with the 7 of Air, the Lovers with Ace of Earth and 6 of Water, and then I had the 8 of Swords with the Shaman, and then these cards on the end were answering, I think, the final, I believe these were answering the final question. Number 5, what is all the energy moving me towards? Yeah, so what is all the energy moving me towards? So I had Tavern, Open Your Heart and Listen to Your Body for my final question. Then into Gemini, here we go. So Gemini 2, Deacon 2. So again, last year's information, this year's world around me information. Here's my spread. So this one was great. I'll show you this one on the table. This one looked amazing. So this is from all decks from Libra Moon. So they're all Serpent and Peacock and Mood of the Moon decks. So let's take a look at that spread, because that one was really nice to do. I won't actually answer the questions, but we'll just lay out so you can just see. So this was interesting to do, as in I layered up the same decks, which I know isn't a new concept, but not everyone does it. And Gemini 3 we are in right now, and I'm about to do that later today. So Gemini 3 will be completed today. So that's that journal. Let's look at those decks. Okay, so for this spread, I used the main predominance cards for my kind of signifiery type questions was the Serpent and Peacock Art Edition. So this is the limited edition from Libra Moon. I think 750 copies were created, and you can go to the website to go and purchase this. It's still available. There's a few decks left, not many, but there's still a few left. So we have that one. I used the Mood of the Moon Oracle, which was her last Kickstarter related to this series, although she did have the Cat Tarot after this one. But I used the Mood of the Moon Oracle, which is the cute square deck with the Elements series on it, which is brilliant concept. And there is also so her app is now live on Google Play. You can get the app for Mood of the Moon from Libra Moon. And then you can get the daily information about what's going on, and you can then relate to the cards and things if you want to. And then the Learn from the Cards 3 Moons edition of the Serpent and Peacock. So this is the one that's designed to, it's an indie deck at mass market prices basically. So beautiful quality at silly prices. Matches the current kind of productions coming out from the mass market creators. And here we are, and here's what it looks like, just so you get a kind of feel, because I think it's nice to see these things played out. Now I could have used either. I could have gone with my tinned Serpent and Peacock, which I also have, but I went with this one. So very happy to have these. And this is really, I'm not going to do a reading of this, I'm just going to let you see how they work. So using for your kind of significator questions, your thoughts, maybe even as an oracle top question if you wanted, and elaborating on them with your words of wisdom either side. And if I'm using them with the element, because we're in Gemini being the air sign, I'd use the yellow sign for the air, so therefore I'd read the messages upright. The deck, from those who know me, it spins when I'm shuffling, so I do have them. When I'm not reading elementally, I read them as per whatever comes up at the top while I'm shuffling. So in my deck there will be some changes, but if I was doing it this way, then I would change to yellow and read the word that comes with it. So for instance, here we have got the Seven of Wands with the moon. Curious, isn't it? So coming down for this two up here, we now have the moon with the Six of Wands and the star, followed with the words strict and busy as a bee. So sometimes when you're busy, you have to be strict with your time, and it's just nice to see a comet there as well. That kind of goes with everything going on in the sky right now. We've got the planetary alignments, haven't we? The planet parade happened this week. And of course, with this one, you've got the meaning of the cards on the bottom. So if you love the artwork but struggle to read the artwork, you have the meaning on the bottom. And that one is the Three Moons deck from Libra Moon. A couple of cards are different to this one, but I don't think there was much difference. You can find the walkthroughs and you can see what I've done, because you've got extra cards with this deck that you could put in, which I did. So communication becoming difficult with our Queen of Pentacles, or Five of Swords, naturally charming / affectionate. And then we've got Queen of Pentacles again, King of Cups, and Two of Wands. So pay attention, because I've got a duplicate message of the same cards. So yeah, I thought this was a nice way of playing with these decks, and I was just doing something a bit different to how I normally play with them. Really, I've not practiced or played much layering them up in a spread, so it was nice. And of course, if I wanted a third layer, I could go and get the third deck and drop it on top. However, there is another deck coming on Kickstarter very soon, and it's called Tarot of Paul's Moon. So in the back of the books, there's a reference to Paul Wamby, who helped select images. I'll just see if I can find it. And he has a love for medieval art as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to find in the book here. Yeah, so he has a love of medieval art. There we go. And there is another deck coming with some slightly different artwork in it. And as I said, it's called Tarot of Paul's Moon. I think it's more church related, religious aspect images, I think. I could be very wrong, because I've only seen a few cards in the Facebook group where they've been shared, but I'm waiting for the Kickstarter to go live so I can add that one. But the card size and stock, I don't know if it's going to be like this or like this. I have no idea yet. All those things are yet to be seen. So if you're on Kickstarter, go over and put yourself down for notifications of new projects. But yeah, these are anything to go by. It's going to be an amazing deck. So let's get back to the journal. Okay, so next, moving into the purchase journal. So the new purchased updated version of Amethyst Ascensions journal for me. So it's this one, and you can type onto, or add a text box and put your name and things on there, which I so far haven't done. Some of these things are links, so there we go. So something took me to that page, so I was looking for that link. How do we do that then? Right, so okay, so if you tap the label, you come to here. So in here you've got all of these different links, so you can put a heading in there and then go to a page. There's your heading, and then you can add multiple pages, and these could be subjects of study. So I could put my deacon walk in here and have it all in one place and not have it in different places. Or I could do yearly deacon walks, or, whatever I want to do. I could keep my yearly birthday. So many things I could do here. That's really interesting. Actually, I've just occurred to me, I could do a birthday spreads under a link and keep it there for the year and not put it where I've already put it. I could probably do that later. Anyway, so you have your tabs down the bottom. So I've set pages because I might go back and copy the pages from my other journal and shove them over here and then delete the other journal. So I've not got so many things taking up space in my journal. So I've literally done January, February, March, April, into May. So we've got cover pages for everything. And then what you do is you'd go up to, on the Samsung, you go to the square button at the top, you hit the word edit, you select the page that you want to do right now in your scroll signs, and then you duplicate. So for instance, if we come back to January, so if I go to edit, so there's January, you can see the page that we're on there, edit, hit January, hit duplicate, and I want to put a page below, insert page below. And what I now have is a plain page for January below that I can use, and then I go to February. So I can continue with this one, just so you can see. So you can see my page, the one I've just inserted. I've still got it selected in blue. Insert page below, and another page has appeared below. So now I've got 2 pages between January and February. And you just do that for as many pages as you need for each month. So where are we? So let's come to May. So I created this page. This one is from my previous journal that I'd already set and started typing in. So all I did was screenshot that entire page, made it smaller, and pasted it as an entire photo. So this is an entire piece here. I can't adjust this at all. It is as it sits, as it's come across. So can you see that okay? I mean, it's not that exciting, is it? But you never know. So what have we got? So I went through a lot of audiobooks in May. I went through so The Gathering by Catherine Dennett. That one was really good. But the rest of the books aren't available in audio, which is really annoying. They were there when I started, otherwise I wouldn't have bothered. And now I can't get the rest on audio, so I shan't be, at this point in time, I haven't got time to pick them up and read. So that was a bit disappointing. I won't get the other books to the collection right now. Book 1, The Serpent and Wings of Night. That was really good. Book 2, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. So obviously that's a set. Book 3, I don't think is released yet. Then I had the Slaying the Vampire. That was a really interesting book. That was quite cool. These are all fictional, fantasy, as you'd expect, I guess, from the titles. I listened to the Sixth Scorched Roses. Once in a Lifetime, which was a set of 3 books. They were short books, but that was a nice story. We had The Edge of Evil, so Cursed to the Last Death by Robin Peterman. So I read a lot of hers last year. Something about a midlife crisis set. They were really good. I'm waiting for the last book, I think, in that set to come out. And I borrowed from the library The Emotionally Absent Mother by Jasmine Lee Corey, and I listened to that one. It had some poignant bits in it, and the rest of it for me was not really helpful, I think. But, it might be good for somebody, so I'll give that a mention. Films, so watch Neighbours. Yeah, Chelsea at the start of the month was absolutely awful. Terrible person, but she got found out. Yes. The Idea of You on Prime with Anne Hathaway in it. That was a really good film. All Good Things with about the Marx Brothers. That was a really interesting tale. Scales. So that's about girls coming of age becoming mermaids. That was really funny. 50 Shades of Black. So I think you guess that's a paradox or a parody to 50 Shades. It was a bit far stretched in points. It wasn't as fast paced as I wanted it to be, but it had some very funny points in it as well. The Skeleton Compass, and I've watched so many more as well since then, but that's all I could fit in. Skeleton Compass that was quite good as well. For kind of like, mid-afternoon film. And instead of putting VRs on here, I've just put down what we achieved on the front room, just so I can remember it. I have a memory page there, so that's a page just kind of journaling about Max and his passing. And then the day he passed, we had the Aurora Borealis, so we've got a few memories here. So I missed it because I was asleep. I was so tired. on the day it happened. So my sister-in-law had some amazing pictures from her experience, and the day after, the 11th, they were still meant to be some in the sky, so I did look for them at daybreak on the morning of, I think this is the 12th, to be honest. So on the morning of the 12th, because when I woke up it was the 11th. So on the morning of the 12th, I looked for them, and this is what I got. So I set my alarm at certain times. I think this was 3:30 and 4 a.m. in the morning to see what was going on in the sky, because they said that would be the next good time to see them. And then at night time, when I went to bed, there was just a kind of purple hue in the sky, but really nothing like the night before, and not these sort of colours in the sky. So you can see we've got like purples, pinky purple, and this was before the actual sunrise, if you can believe that. It was just such a neon stripe across the skyline looking into the horizon, and that was how they said would be the best place to see it, because I look over to the moors where there's no lights and things, so straight over to rough moorland, and that was the best place to go and view them. And so I thought I could do that from the comfort of my own home and bedroom. And then the weirdest thing happened. Two they're not dragonflies, what are they called? Is it crane flies? But these two flew into my house. Came in and sat on the wall they were there for about 15 minutes before they flew back out. But they flew as a pair, so they're clearly mating season. But they flew as a pair, and then they flew out into the garden, and it was kind of like flying around the garden. It was really weird, just the fact they came in. So here you've seen this in my journal. So this is a tarot normal spread. So here are my pictures of the spread popped over here, and then the pictures of the spreads that I did. Okay, yes, so I used the Shadowlands tarot or oracles, and the oracles, there's a combination of everything going on here for reading those first questions. I completely forgot I'd done that, so I laid them out. So what is the significance of the apple tree? So I used the oracle, there we go, yeah. Significance of a stone circle. What is going on in the basement? So that was a 6-card spread. Then here we have the actual spread itself. So answering each question, so I've put numbers on so you can see the cards. And it was just as the cards came out, so I didn't specifically pull out lots of cards. So for this one, for instance, I had 1 tarot 3 oracle, 1 tarot 2 oracle, 1-on-1 for the best part. These ones flip, jump themselves, which is why I think I decided to split that into 2 different people. So I decided to take that energy when 2 tarot cards come out, I split it up into 2 people. For card 1, I've put down teacher, and we've got ancestry, and then card 9, multiple cards with 1 oracle. Then we have the lovely Amethyst Ascensions, solar plexus spread here, and there we go. I used the Tarot of Mystical Moments, beautiful set of cards. I absolutely love those cards. I also did the storybook spread from Total Tarot magazine, but presented by Chris at Elemental Cartomancy, and we used the Bohemian Animal Tarot there. I'm sorry about the glare, I can't do anything about that. That's me taking a picture of the shiny worktop. So yeah, so we have the that spread. They looked really cool together. So we had that one. And I did, this is the VR. Top tarot decks for 78 Puertas. So the questions, my answers, and obviously millions of decks were out at the time. True Sidereal. So I had a video chat with Rochelle, and we were going through my sidereal chart, which was really interesting. So in Western astrology, I thought I was a Gemini rising, Gemini sun, Virgo moon, but actually I was reading my chart upside down because I do that. I thought Aries always started as the deacon wheel confused me, so I thought Aries was always the first house. It is, but it's not always your first house. So because we always start on Aries, I thought, so I spun my birth chart round so Aries was in my first house and read my chart back to front and upside down. Turns out I'm Gemini Sun, Sagittarius Rising, Virgo Moon. In sidereal astrology, I am a Taurus Sun with a Virgo Moon, and I am an ascending / rising. I'm on the cusp of Scorpio and Ophiuchus. And interestingly, Neptune was in Ophiuchus in retrograde. And my Ilium Coeli, I think is how you pronounce it, is in Pisces. I don't quite understand what that means, but it seemed quite significant because it was something that fascinated a few people. So the energies of the sky right now are pulling on a lot of what's going on with me. So I know that part of it's me, but part of it's everyone else around me. Yeah, and then there's some information from my sun chart and my birthday spread, which I haven't put in here. So I did say it's going to take me a couple of weeks to get into all my journals, and it will do. So I'm yet to type anything else in here. But what I have done, here's my page, the decks that I used, and then my pages are just ready to put a picture of the card spread and my information per card, which I could have done, as I said, at the start of the journal, and I haven't. And then I've set up ready for June. And all I'm doing is moving these spreads that I know you've all seen in my journal. I'm moving them down every month if I don't get to them. So it's easy enough to do because the whole thing is cut and pasted from my other journal as screenshots. So it's a whole thing. It's not so it's just like taking a photo. So I can just cut the photo, paste it onto the next section of the journal. So there you go. And then I've just marked up my pages ready for what comes next. July, August, September, October, November, December. So they're all in there. Linda, sorry, if you've managed to watch to this point in the journal. So I've shown you how to edit pages, how to add pages. For this one, if I want to type, I don't know if I have to, but I press the T button up there and you double tap and then your text box comes in. And then what you do is hold there where your text is and you can move it around your page. It's glitchy. It's not the easiest thing to do. Sometimes it doesn't like it, so you can do that. Then you can add, with the plus sign, a photo. I'll go to albums, downloads. And I bought from Etsy a bunch of stickers. Basically, I bought a year's supply of stickers, so I have access to a full 12-month catalogue of stickers for $19.99. And it was some ridiculous number of stickers, probably 3,000 now. But I have to go to, I use their link, it takes me to their Dropbox, and then I can select from Dropbox and I can download what I want from there. But I don't have enough space to download all of those stickers, and Dropbox won't hold them all. So these stickers are all from there. And you will see a few duplicates because I forgot to, I pressed the button a couple of times because I didn't know what I was doing. So these are the stickers. They don't come with a background, so they have no background when you paste them over. So I don't know what should we have them for November. Got some spooky ones, got some gorgeous butterflies, green ones, gardening ones. Really, I'm just showing you what's in there. This one, like that one. Teacups and roses, they are beautiful. The colours in this one, it's very October for me. Orange and purple are like the October colours for me. Potions, potion bottles. November, what should we take? Should we have this one? So there you go. So you can resize it. You can spin it. So it allows me to put it close to text, and then I need to send it to the back so that I can access my text box, and then I can change my text to a different color, or I can change the background of my text to a different color. But you see it's not see-through, so it types over what you have there. Which I like to try and keep them clear if I can. Change the font size. Make it bold so the text stands out a bit, make it a bit italic. Let's change, I've only got those to change between. So I can then continue to type over the top. but you have to bear in mind that it's hard to read. I can move it, I can change that text box shape and size, but as I say, it does get glitchy, so you have to come out, reset it when it starts messing around, because see that? So I've moved it to where I want it, and it doesn't like it. Just put it back over. Do you see? So sometimes you just got to work out where on the page you want it, and then move slightly off to one side to get it exactly where you want it. But I can delete that. And I can move this around. Bigger, smaller so it fits. I could edit, crop. Crop on this is weird, it moves both ways, look at that. And we go, so we apply, say we're done. And I've got half page for it. So I can do that. There. And I've got space to type there and a bigger space there. I think that's everything. I was going to do new things into my collection as well, but can I? Yes, quickly, let's go. Okay, my gorgeous friend sent me a surprise package in the post. So this arrived for my birthday. I'm so over the moon, overwhelmed, over the moon. It's a singing bowl, and I've put a cone of rose musk in there to make it smell beautiful, and it's just gorgeous. So just helps you to relax. Isn't that beautiful? I'm assuming that picks up on camera without blowing your ears out and me gonging on it. So I can't thank her enough. So thankful. You know who you are. So yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Of course, as you know, decks came in from Make Playing Cards, all aimed at me spending towards the months where I choose to buy things for my birthday. So the Love of Oracles spread from Amethyst Ascensions. Backs, she's edged hers. I think I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy the colour. I had the Zany Tarot from Zane Hughes from Make Playing Cards, which you've seen today. So brilliant deck, really well thought out. He's got a new one out, not this one, but there's a new tarot out. Can't remember what he called it, but he's got a new one. So go check out his decks. I don't know if he said he's going to make an oracle actually. Planning on getting a new bag from Serpent and Peacock when that Kickstarter runs, and a spread cloth. There's a definite spread cloth I want. As you know, so the Messages of Cosmic Oracles. I had the What's the Tea? Bit pertinent, this one. Not a sugarcoater. Fake smiles, into you, unbothered. At the time when there was a lot of like weird energy around, Grudge Holder kept coming up. 4 times I think that come out of like a mass shuffled deck. Every time it came out when I asked the question, and it was always around like me and somebody else and me, the energy around me, the work colleagues, like what is going on. That was hilarious. They're all these two are Amazon. This one's Amazon as well, and the Place Oracle, which I still haven't used yet, but that came end of April, beginning of May. But this is a really nice deck as well. So sudden shift to photo collage decks and the wording on them, because these are about the wording really more than they are the picture. Picture's just nothing, it's just a pretty background, much like my journals are at the moment as I see my digital journals, pretty background with the words that make the most importance. But you can use it as where to go for whatever you need, or how to bring in that into your life. If that's what you're needing to seek out to, for whatever your moment of crisis or question of the moment is for this card. And it gives you a little bit of information on the back on the tuck box. Tuck box is tight, so I have damaged the lid, but probably needs its own bag maybe. So those three were Amazon. I had the Mystic Sketch Tarot. Can't remember exactly when that was, but gorgeous deck. This is from James Bradshaw on Etsy. So just type in Mystic Sketch Tarot for Etsy and this will come up. It's limited edition. There's 50 decks made. There's the Two of Pentacles. He's hand-drawn his cards. He's got his backs. And it's just beautiful. Really beautiful deck. Got some humour in it. Based on Marseille. He has a love of old Marseille decks. And some Patrick Valencia artwork, of course. So yeah, which you can see there, can't you? So you had 2 moon cards, in case you're wondering, and a couple of others. There's some lovely seconds off in here, but I shuffled the whole lot in by mistake. I didn't mean to, but they're all in here. So that's the Mystic Sketch Tarot. Really, really cheap, like for an indie, self-published, limited edition, hand-drawn deck. This is ridiculously cheap. So go and check it out. He's a UK artist as well, for those in the UK. So for us, it's for a change, an easy deck to get hold of. And I had the other one from Make Playing Cards, which was Kim's Abundant Life Tarot. So this is her photo collage deck, the one that she created, Secrets Revealed, True Crime Oracle. So lots of words in here to work with. I've asked her for a video. I don't know if she'll ever remember, but I have asked for a video on how to split this deck up to use it in different ways, because it's like some 100 and... How many cards? 120 or 160? Like... unbelievably wieldy size deck. So yeah, I would like to, I've seen her use it in 2 parts when she does her readings, and I'd like to be able to know how she's created those 2 piles really, and what the difference is in them and how best to use this to get the most out of it. I did a selection of books from Vincent Petisky. I decided to buy them all just in case they went out of print, because I suddenly got FOMO. So I bought the rest of the books to complete my series. And this is just one to show you as an example. The reading fortune telling cards last week. This was a last minute purchase, came in on Friday, Thursday even. So this is to go with the Gypsy Witch deck, for those of you who are familiar with that deck. And I have a Patrick Valencia card coming. This is from the upcoming Oracle, Deviant Moon Oracle, that we're waiting on. So here's card 52 for those of you that want a little sneaky peeky taster. So yeah, so it tells you different combinations, readings, spreads, how to read the spreads, make head nor tail of the spreads, and just goes into those cards in depth a little bit more, how to pick up on them, because I don't know about anyone else, but I've had that deck for 4 years now. I don't find it getting much easier to understand, so it just sits on the shelf until I feel I have time dedicated to it. But now I'm hoping that this book, because I didn't know there was one, can unlock some of those truths. And it's only a small one, so... the Guide to Elegance from Genevieve Antoine Dario. Once would have been a girl's A to Z to being stylish, how to look after herself, how to present herself in society. This would have been a guide to how to. Reading it in this day and age as a guide for how to, it's absolutely hilarious. Like some of the standards that they would hold themselves to. Me as somebody who doesn't really, the appearance is not my standard. The standard I go by is what's in people's hearts. Their purity of intention is what makes them a presentable, a beautiful, an attractive, a rounded, a nice to look at person. Not whether your lipstick's in place, whether your earrings are in place, whether you've got a hair stuck out. Like that's not my thing. I grew up around people like that and I can't stand it generally. So this and the standards in here, I can now see where the people who influenced me earlier in my lifetime, where they were influenced from, and it would be this one. So that book influenced this person who I didn't realise. And I've had this book for years, probably 15 years, 20 years, 15 years. And I quite started reading this. I don't know if I ever finished it, so I'm going to reread it. And they're both called Elegance. And this one is exactly the same. It's an A to Z in the same format on presentation or looking after yourself, your clothes, trying to remain respectable, but again, based on 15, 20 years ago in the world. So this, probably now reading it, may well have changed quite a bit from what I read previously. But this is where I learned how to care for woolen jumpers, cashmere jumpers, and the likes. So I know that this was going to be worth pulling back out to read. Got my Oneness Emporium bookmark in there. So yeah, so that one of course was a second-hand purchase, but new into my collection, which is why it's here. With those, I think I've covered everything. I think I have. And if you were wondering how on earth I got a card 52, it's because I bought the Menagerie of Beasts from Patrick Valenza colouring book, which is upstairs sat on my shelf. But that was new in June, not May. So I wasn't going to show it. There we go. Okay, thank you for sticking in with me. Sorry this was such a long one, even though I didn't have a lot in my journals, or I didn't feel like I did. Clearly I had a lot to say. Wishing you all much love and light. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.